And we're back here today with another Mutator Monday. This Mutator Monday I'm looking at, and it's not quite exactly what we would go for normally, but we'll call them mutators because typically you'll have a set of rules and they won't specify who the start player is, for example. Randomizing start player, that's what we're going to be looking at today. Different methods they have and how they do it. You have somewhere you're bidding for points. But this is the one, like in an abstract strategy, everything else you have it. Or Euros or anything else. I've seen things like the oldest player, youngest player starts first based upon skills. But in a case of where you may not like that, you might want to change the rules more random. Here's several methods they have that people do, and then I'll try to propose one they have here, and that's why you're going to see cards. Anyhow, as you see, what you have here is there's the typical one where you have the two pieces. You'll see them. Red and black, and let's say red goes first, you're going to put them in the hands, put them behind the back. Person picks. Let's say they pick the one on the right, they would go first, or if they pick the one on the left. That's one that uses, and a lot of games benefit from having that there, if you have enough pieces. But then there's the other ones, which this is another one which you would have, where players will roll. Let's say you have a pair of two dice and a high die rolls first. And you'll have that person roll, they roll 6, that other person goes. I mean, you feel like you have control, but it's actually meant to be a randomizer. 7, then another player goes 8, another player roll 9, no, 3. So the player rolled 8 would go first, or pick wherever they want to go, depending on the rules. That method gets messy. There's the other one where we're going to pass one die to each person. And they roll, and he rolls a 4, 2, 6, 1, and then let's say another person rolls 6. They have a roll off. That could be inefficient. Anyhow, that's another way they have. I seen one which was start player, which is this cards. You pick something wonky out. They had other things else thematically. Who's the last person to get a haircut? Anyhow, you have those other ones. One method, and this is a Michael Isger actually introduced this at a game group I know of. You can use a 6-sided die or whatever. It has some limitations, but if you're using, let's say you have 2 players. 2 players, 3 players, or 6 players, or even 5 players. 4 player doesn't work as well. You can go, let's just put the different dice out here. They represent different players, so let's do 3 players then. And they have this. So, player 1, if I roll a 1 or 2, I get a 3 or 4. I get 5 or 6. If I roll 5 or 6 there, that player would go. Now, if you had 4, then you can have. Let's say you could discard. Let's say we're going to have. These are cheap dollar store dice, but they make the point. See, the pips are kind of a little bit off. I could do the following here, and then I roll 4. Oh, see, the player 4 would go. Then if I roll 6, I re-roll. That's another way to do it. You roll, one person rolls the dice and allocate the numbers. Another thing I'm going to recommend, and this might be something useful, and this might be the best way to actually do it. Determining start player. You get yourself a deck of cards. See this ace through 8. Let's say there's an 8-player game. You want to determine start players. Just get yourself a cheap deck of cards like this. Carry this as a prop, as you'd have something else with you. And what you have here is we're gonna go across like this, and then we have players. You can either do the draw, draw straws method, where rolling straws. So each player would pick one, and you can do it. Or, see, that one happened to be that way. Or you can put, like, for example, the number of players in the game. Same method, 1, 2, 3, 4, shuffle and deal them. And this would be just something they add to the game, and then you go like that and go player 3 starts. Or they all draw, and the person draws the high card. Again, it's like a drawing straws with the deck of cards here. Anyhow, that's just something useful to know about here. And it's quasi-universal mutator. It's a small subject. I want to get into it just to show a little bit more effective way of speeding up a game. It does fit in a mutator because you're taking the rules and modifying them to some degree, and that method applies universally all over. Anyhow, hopefully that's a little bit of value to you. It's not big and major, but it's useful. Anyhow, I do want to thank you for watching, and may your die always roll 5.